Hello and welcome to ARK, the complete series. Well, as you can see, we're in the arena for the King Titan. Now, such is the nature of the map, we've actually got to do the Gamma, then the Beta, then the Alpha, because you need the trophies to be able to do the next tier, if you will. Just the way the devs have done it for this particular map. So the plan is to actually start with the Gamma King Titan. And as far as I recall, this one was actually the hardest one to do, because once you actually get to the Alpha King Titan, you get the Mega Mech. And I found it was much easier with that. But in any case, I've got 3 Titans. Now, for whatever reason, the actual Desert Titan just floats around there doing nothing for some strange reason. It has no incentive to actually attack the King Titan. I've got to ride it to make use of it. And I am saving it up for a particular reason. So, anyway. We need to get this show on the road, so I've got all the bits and pieces that we need. Like you can see there, it's saying, for example, it needs the King Titan trophy, the beta version to do the alpha, but yeah, very odd. Right, so we've got a little Giga army over there. Now they're not really going to do much to begin with, I've just got them standing around. I've got a spare mech over there. Even our mech can't do a great deal at this stage. But I'm using the actual mech because this thing's going to start spawning in nodes. Now those nodes, what I've found is they get used to summon the minions, if you will, and there's quite a few, and I find them extremely annoying because the oh, there's one over there. What will happen is they seriously distract the what was that? That was 25,000 damage. They seriously distract my actual titans, so I want rid of these. I want them out of the way. Because as long as these are destroyed, you won't get any more minions getting into the actual boss fight, which is exactly what I want. I just want the Titan dealing with my Titans. So as far as I'm aware, you do actually get rewards for killing the actual minions, if you will. But, to be honest, I'm going to try and keep it as simple as I can. So I'm just going to keep wandering around looking for another node if I can. I'm going to stay out the way of that because we're going to get to the point. Oh, wow, that was pretty brutal. So those two are actually fighting the King Titan. That one, as you can see, is doing zippity doo dah. I can put it on sort of like high targeting, so it'll actually target things from far away. I can put it on aggressive. I can literally put it right next to the actual King Titan. It still doesn't bother to attack. For some strange reason, it's just, no, not interested. If I ride it, I can actually use it to actually do damage. But, no, at the moment, while it's on its own, it's not going to do anything. Which is a shame, really, because the, I mean, the idea of the multi, it's a multi, oh, I didn't want to do that. Actually, yep, you want to go on auto repair, don't you? One of the things with ARK, oh, there we go. Now, that might be a possibility. This is where, right, okay, now we're into something. We need to get these gigas. Okay, well, they've decided to join in anyway. Oh, I've got a Wyvern down there. I'll just have to leave that. Yeah, so my gigas obviously got a bit ticked off by that. So this is the point where I'm going to just basically leave them to attack that. Now, that thing it's got a debuff basically for its, for damage. So it's taking a lot less damage. One thing is that it's not really fighting back, which is a good thing. Now my mech here can't do a great deal of damage. I mean, it's level 118, but it's not really going to do diddly squat in terms of damage, so I'm going to take advantage of the quiet time, because there's no minions around here. So as long as that vein there stays up, then it's a case of, well, great, because, I mean, that thing's just not going to be fighting back. So it's pluses and minuses, basically. So while that's down, I'm going to take advantage of the time. We're at almost halfway. So everything I've got is fighting it. The biggest challenge I've got really is going to be these meteors coming down. They're all going to be coming down more or less in the same place. So at least I can try and do some damage with this thing while I've got it. Not a lot. You can see the ones at the front. I mean, you're getting like in the thousands, 3,000 something. I don't think that's me. I mean, yeah, I think this thing's only doing about 5-3. I mean, I'm doing it. I've got to bring a lightning strike down on it. I didn't know do anything like that. What I was interested in is, yeah, I was trying to get it to do a block attack as well. Now, at some point, even though that vene's not getting attacked by its minions, at some point what we'll actually get is that the actual at some point the actual vein will get destroyed. Anyway, it'll be like, that's it, I'm done. So there you go. So that bit's now finished. And if I can get out of the way of this. Oh yeah, that's the end of my giggers, unfortunately. Now at some point this is gonna ball up a fist and it's gonna try and attack, but it's much more vulnerable now than it was before. So that's a kind of good thing. Now I'm using this because if I had the actual Mega Mech, I could disrupt this. This is something I want to do. I want to disrupt this fist because it's going to bring down a massive fight, a power attack basically. So I'm doing a lot of damage to it. But if I can, there you go, I've disrupted it. So it's a case of we're no longer getting this risk of where it was just going to bring down like the mother of all power attacks basically. So my giggers are finished. Wow. We want to go behind. Ideal. So I'm just going to let those two do what they can while we fight it from behind. So as you can see, I mean, we're at the point where we're doing a lot more damage now. Ow, 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 ow. Jeez Louise. So we should be doing a lot more damage now than we were before. Is a good thing, but I've got no more giggers. I mean, I suppose at this point if I had another... Ooh, righty, that's the end of... Oh, that was just a gigger. Okay, well, it says just a gigger. I mean, like I say, they're all expendable. Yeah, it's kind of a pity. I mean, this thing's just... I mean, this is like the Alpha Desert Titan. It's just hardly does any damage. That's why I'm kind of like more relying on the actual Titans to hand out a lot of damage. So we're not doing as much damage now because it's brought up another vein over there. So I'm very reliant on us being able to take this down while it's in this state, I suppose. I mean, just having a look if there's any... It looks like there's some giggers, at least one gigger still around. So it's still going to go through this process of, you know, it's just down for the counter basically, so we can't do as much damage. We're hitting for about 3,900. Ooh, the Ice Titan's almost finished. What about the Forest Titan? If you were doing this multiplayer, which is the intention, you'd actually be tanking this thing with the actual Forest Titan, because the Forest Titan has got a great blocking ability, so it takes a massive reduction in damage. Whereas, yeah, it's a case of we don't get that luxury when we're on our own. I mean, I suppose I could go in there and do the blocking myself, but the trouble is it's a case of then you're at risk of, you know, all these meteors and what have you coming down. So I'm kind of like parked behind it to try and avoid it as much as I can. I mean, we're almost there. I mean, 8 minutes in. Yeah, we're not doing too bad. But yeah, all of those giggers, I think that's just the nature of it. They're all expendable because I can't put that many points into their health, for example, because giggers. Right. I can't put that much into their health because, well, I could do, but you just don't get much of a return. So the ones I've bred, I put it into melee. I mean, they're hitting 604. While it's down for the count, so it's reduced damage, but at least doing something. Something's better than nothing. if I had another wave, that would probably help. I could then bring the next wave in to do that. But gigas take a long time now. I have done quite a bit of breeding on the Rexes, and I'm just reluctant to do those because they wouldn't last either. Ooh, I'm not too far off. I'm just curious if we're actually going to be able to get this thing down before the vein gets taken out. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not too fussed about the Ice Titan, because the Ice Titan, yeah, that was only a gamma anyway. So I wasn't expecting much out of the Ice Titan anyway, to be fair. I mean, I got really impatient when I was taking that one on. Jeez Louise. Oh, I need to be able to disrupt that again. Come out and get out of its way. Oh, otherwise there's going to be this one almighty power attack. I'm stuck. Oh, drat! I'm stuck in its tail. So if we can bring this down before it lets loose on that, a power attack might be done. Yes! Oh, thank goodness for that. Oh. Thank goodness for that. Right. Man, that was a close call. I seriously thought, well, we're never going to get it done. Can I? What? Oh, I'm not going to get the dermis. Oh, blast, I wanted the dermis. Right, I'm going to pop out Rainbow here. So that I can get all my bits and pieces over to her. You need that. Anything and everything I can send over to her is all the more better. We'll grab what we can. Right, we're literally on the clock now. Because what will happen is then we just got to wait. So wow, the Desert Titan survived. Looks like did the Forest Titan survive? Oh yeah, the Forest Titan survived as well, but the Ice Titan bought the farm, unfortunately. Let me just double check. Tell you what, you may as well have this food while we're at it. Anything particularly wonderful? Ooh. Oh, it's gone. I was actually looking for the. Now I don't have it. I'm looking for the trophy. Because I saw a flag. Oh, there it is. There. Right. Yeah. For you. So that'll give us the trophy to actually take on the beta. That one's obviously going to be a lot harder than this one. Because it summons more veins. But the main thing is, we're going to ascend.
Absolutely beautiful. Go on, take a look. It's finally begun. The ARKs are coming home. Each one carries with it the seeds of new life. Plants, animals, and humans. And these seeds will take root across the far corners of the world. Once they do, all that life will be unleashed. From there, it will spread, grow, and thrive. And this planet, our home, will bloom once more. As for the rest of the infection, well, The ARKs can take it from here. In time, they'll purge every last bit of it from its soul. But make no mistake, this is all thanks to you. I'm just glad I got to see it. Look at that. Sun's rising.
Ah, that never gets old, I must admit. I really like that. Case of now, well, I've got an excuse to go over to Genesis, or at least Genesis Part 1 I should say, because obviously it was just recently that Genesis Part 2 came out, so I have had a bit of a dabble with that, I must admit. It is a lot different what the rest of the ARK maps are like, so I'm tempted to actually, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to there, because I'm going to have to replace all of those gigas that I've lost. I'm going to have to get another, well, I'll probably have to replace all of those Titans because they're only going to last so long anyway. Hopefully we'll get some better ones next time. But yeah, it's very time consuming, so for that reason I am tempted to just head over to Genesis and do all that hard work in the background, and it'll come back because I've got to do the Beta King Titan as well as the Alpha King Titan just to finish the map off. And as far as I recall, the Alpha was actually the easier of the three, but you know, lots changed since I last played Extinction, so you never know. So I need to respawn back into the world, get all my bits and pieces back, and then start planning for Genesis 1. And that's all for another episode. Now, if you're curious to know what we actually got from that fight, I've got to say, not a lot. If I have a look at Rainbow here, the only thing of particular interest that jumps out to me, I mean, there's quite a bit of armor in here, for example, which I'm not particularly interested in. It'll all end up in the grinder. We do have some interesting gauntlets, I must admit, but I quite like these ones because they've got 681 durability, and that's what actually went against me when my chest piece broke, because that's only got 300 durability. This is just your basic tech armor. I must have forgot to create an actual chest piece. Because I actually have some better chest pieces, but it needs a lot of resources. Now the boots here, you can see 537 durability. The leggings 508, so that it was the durability more than anything probably went against me. These are just your basic ones. That was probably why. So these gauntlets 402, but they've got 681 durability versus 445. So I still prefer these. I mean, we've got a pretty good sort of like Mastercraft tech rifle by the looks of it. 295 durability, 184, so may as well keep those. We've got all these little rocket pods. Now you can actually use those, as far as I'm aware, against the King Titan, so you can actually equip your mech with these with one of these rocket launchers and use those to fire at it. Because what I was finding, I was hardly doing any damage with the gun, hardly any damage with the actual sword. So for me, it was mostly a case of, oh, well, I may as well just, you know, use the Desert Titan to inflict a lot of damage, because this thing was still doing more damage than I could with a mech. So I mean the Forest Titan survived. I mean, just out of curiosity, one thing I'll say is that this thing had a lot more health when I actually tamed it. It's a feature. If the game gets restarted, so if you're on single player and the game actually gets restarted, or if you're on a server and the server gets restarted for a patch or whatever, you actually end up with this max level goes down quite a lot. Because I remember when I got this Desert Titan over here, no, that's going to hurt because I haven't got my tech gear on. Ouch. That thing had about 660 odd thousand health, whereas now it doesn't. It's got much lower. I don't know if I'll be able to get up there actually. Having said that, yes, I can accept take Rainbow. This thing's got much less health than it did when I actually tamed it. if I can get out of its zone, if you will. Because I can land on it. Let's just get off here. I'll have a look and see what its health's like. Ooh. So we have a look at this one. It's got 250,000 health. Now that was way higher, I remember, when I actually tamed it. So that's a bit interesting, I must admit. An interesting feature. But I think I'm actually going to go back to base and get Aussie Owl. And I'll have a look around, because I know one of the attacks that this thing does, it ends up furling your tames out of the far corners. So, you know, there might be some things out there that are still alive. But, yeah. Because, I mean, all of these Gigas, well, yeah, they were expendable. They didn't have any decent saddles on them. I deliberately didn't make any for them, because I knew they wouldn't really last long anyway. So, yeah, an interesting experience, I must admit. And I do like it. I really like the ending, if anything. But the adventure in ARK continues, so see you in the next one.